Welcome to ACC Crunch Time with your host, Patrick O'Brien. Welcome to an all things ACC Crunch Time here, where we talk about a certain topic in under 10 minutes here. The topic of today has got to be the Coastal Division kind of battle tonight on Thursday night. The Virginia Tech Hokies versus Miami Hurricanes. It's a 7 o'clock p.m. kickoff Thursday night in Blacksburg. Virginia Tech, quick recap of between these two guys. Virginia Tech owns a 7-6 record at home against Miami, but owns a 13-20 overall record against the Hurricanes. On Thursday night at Lane Stadium, they're 12-4. They have a 12-4 record, and they've been solid through the past years on Thursday night in Blacksburg. And overall, they've won the last 21 out of 30 matchups on Thursday night. So the Hokies are they're quite familiar with playing on Thursday night, and that's what they thrive on. Especially if you've ever been to Blacksburg on Thursday night game. There, that place is going to be rocking. Crowd's going to be ecstatic. You're going to be able to barely hear yourself in Blacksburg today, but it certainly is one of the biggest games in the Coastal Division and in the ACC this week, and kind of a slow week because this could determine a lot or kind of shed some light on a Coastal Division that's been up for grabs this season and the past 5 seasons. Just when you think you have it, something else happens like last week. That just kind of changes your mind and switches everything around. So this is certainly a big one in the Coastal Division that I kind of wanted to preview here before game time here at 7 o'clock. Taking a look a little bit back at some of the key stats, which you can find a lot of stats that we just wrote about today on our 4th and goal kind of topic there. We've kind of broke down some of the Virginia Tech and Miami stats that you want to look at, kind of review some of those and some other ones and kind of preview this game that we have going on tonight there. For the Virginia Tech Hokies, things that I'm going to be looking for is certainly their defense. So we'll start with their defense side, stopping the run game. With Mark Walton and company and Yearby, when the run game is working with the Miami Hurricanes, they've been solid. In the beginning of the year, they were averaging almost 225, 250. Now, that mark has dropped. Granted, that's to better competition, but in the last 3 games, granted 2 of them that have been losses there, they barely average a little bit over 100 yards. Certainly something that Mark Richt wants to get going. They want to get the run game going. When that starts clicking, it helps the overall the offense start clicking, especially with a quarterback, Brad Kaya. He's been solid, I would say. A lot of people had him highly ranked in the NFL draft. I haven't seen it quite this year. I think his stock is dropping a little bit there. He has all the intangibles. He has some good wide receivers, especially, when he gets some time. I've been noticing a lot of times when watching the Hurricanes is that they like to do cross-field kind of patterns there. If they can get their big wide receivers rolling cross-field, they can pick up some big yards. And if Kaya has some time in the pocket and it isn't pressured, he really can hurt you in the passing game. But that also is helped by the rushing attack. So the defense for Virginia Tech, certainly is going to be going to have to stop the run game if they can try to make it kind of make them one-dimensional. Maybe put them kind of in a quick hole or something like that on the scoreboard or anything like that. That will help them pressure the quarterback there, and certainly that will go into their favor. Putting them down in 3rd and long. The Hurricanes haven't been too successful. They've, I think there's, if I read it correctly, it's a little bit above 50% on 3rd down conversion rates this year. So putting them in 3rd and long certainly benefits the Hokies defense there. On offense, they're going to have to come up with some kind of rushing attack. The only one that I've seen really consistently is quarterback Gerard Evans. His ability to be, move throughout the pocket, kind of extend plays, that's been their best rushing attack pretty much so far this season. They need to come up and have somebody else step up, Evans can't be doing. They do have some good offensive weapons in wide receiver and Hodges and Isaiah Ford and everything, but putting them in third and long certainly plays in the hands of Mark Richt and the Hurricanes there. So certainly I think they have to develop some kind of rushing attack and kind of play their style play. Before with Beamer, you want to kind of slow, methodical kind of play right there. Now, under Coach Fuentes, they kind of want. They're not going to be high powered, going, super fast down the field there. But they, methodically want to, continue to move the ball. Put some pressure on this young defense that we'll talk about in just a minute. Tire them out. Certainly, Virginia Tech has the capability of making some long drives. As I saw against the Tar Heels about 2 weeks ago, they're capable of doing it, wearing down that defense there. So they want to, play to their pace, keep their rhythm going, and keep themselves out of third and long. Something that will be key in this one, and that will also be helped by with the run game if they can come up with something besides Gerard Evans there. For the Hurricanes, it kind of backpedals into that. Gerard Evans has been their main go-to guy, especially in the run game, and his ability to keep plays alive with his running and his feet, with his running ability, has been kind of key for this Hokies offense there. Containing him and forcing him to, sit in the pocket and throw will benefit the Hurricanes in the long run, I think, in this game. Maybe think if they can get some pressure on them, which will also help against them if they can stop the run game, which we just talked about. If they can develop some pressure, obviously that means they're getting in the backfield against that Virginia Tech offensive line, which will help them in the run game there. And if they can sit back, rushing for their defensive linemen to kind of sit back and kind of pick kind of dissect and pick that offense there with the Hokies on what they're doing there. Third down on the offense is going to be key. Quarterback play with what we just kind of talked about a little bit earlier, getting them in like 3rd and 5, 3rd and manageable, I would say, really will benefit the Hurricanes because they can open a lot more in the playbook there. But again, on like 3rd and 10, you can see the numbers show it that they haven't had the best success like 3rd and 10, 3rd and long kind of situations there. So they definitely want to keep ahead of the change, 3rd and manageable. Says they'll have different options. They definitely have playmakers to do that. They just have to keep it in manageable situations on the field on offense there. Develop the run game. Talked about that a little bit earlier, and also this defense there. We talked about and heard about it before that the Hurricanes defense is young, especially linebacker core. They're starting 3 freshmen. They've been solid this year. But they're still a freshman. They still got things to learn, and that's something that the Hokies will definitely, the offense will definitely try to take advantage of them, put them in situations that they're uncomfortable in, and everything like that. So look for if the linebacker core for the Hurricanes can step up, make some plays, put some pressure on Gerard Evans if they blitz, or if they try to shut down that run game, make them more one-dimensional. I think that will benefit the Hurricanes overall there. Looking at this one, it's kind of a toss-up with this. I can see either team winning right now. It's when you look at, I think when you're looking at these teams, I think which one comes off like as a fast start there. Virginia Tech, they have not allowed a single point in the first half at home this season. Something that the Hurricanes will have to do if they want to stay in this. Now, granted, if they get the lead, can get the lead in the second half and everything, that's when they start benefiting, because they have only been giving up to opponents 0.6 points per game in the fourth quarter this year. So when they hold that lead and they really limit the any points being scored by opponents this season in the fourth quarter. So they're looking to jump out quickly if they can against a defense that's been dominant in the first half in Blacksburg there. The offense for Virginia Tech, they'll need to certainly step up. Last week they suffered only scoring 17 points. Much lower than their 35 points they averaged this season. But at home, they've been averaging about 51 points and averaging about almost 30 points in the first half. Something that they will want to do there. Compared to what they do, like on the road, they only been averaging about 10 points on the road so far this season. Both defense will have to step up. I would like to see how the Hokies bounce back from when that loss against Syracuse, when they allowed 300 yards passing by Eric Dungy and almost over 100 yards as well. So certainly their secondary has been tested lately in the past few games. That's even including the North Carolina game. They've been getting up about 275 yards through the air. So Brad Kyle certainly has some weapons. I think you can try to test that out. So stuff like that. I mean, there's several stats that you can go back and forth between these two teams there. But if I had to pick one for tonight, I would probably lean more towards the Hokies. I've seen them play on Thursday night. I've been there with the crowd. That's going to be rocking, especially when they come out to Enter Sandman. If you haven't seen that, certainly always in a bucket list to do that you want to see for college football. I'm going to give the Hokies a slight edge in this one. I think their defense is going to step up. They underestimated Syracuse last week. The Miami offense has been struggling a little bit. They only scored 3 points in the first half. Last week, 13 points overall against Tar Heels. Against the defense, that has struggled sometimes there. They're going up a much better defense with the Hokies there. So I'm thinking about a 28-21 victory for the Hokies tonight in Blacksburg there. That will put the Miami, the loss. If that actually happens, Miami will have lost 3 in a row. Hokies bounce back to still be in first place with the head-to-head victory over the Tar Heels there. But we'll, as like I said before in this one, the Coastal Division is always up for grabs. So certainly this has major implications on who could be heading to the ACC championship game for the ACC, going up against the Atlantic Division that's looking like Clemson or Louisville right now. So certainly tune in at 7 o'clock kickoff p.m. Great game. Will be on ESPN in Blacksburg. So certainly check in on that and make sure to check us out on all things ACC and join our message board as we'll let our Hokie fans and Canes fans and all ACC fans talk about the game throughout the night there. Other than that, enjoy the night on Thursday night and enjoy your weekend.